Even though there are, a variety of softwares which we are going to learn in some time, we are going to look at the different diverse softwares that are available. And even though I told you there is no one size fits all, there is no one single software engineering technique or process that you can apply to develop all kinds of software. That won't happen. Based on the type of software you're going to develop, you're going to pick an appropriate software engineering technique or technology, and you're going to use that. But these are the general issues that affect all kinds of software. First issue is heterogeneity. We are working in the modern era, and we have a lot many gadgets connected to our network, different kinds of printers, different kinds of internet-enabled speakers, different kinds of gadgets, smart home systems, mobile phones, desktops, laptops, readers, iPads, iPods, name it, right? Each of them are developed by different manufacturers, by different organizations. There's a lot of heterogeneity involved in the existing network already. So if you have to build new software, you have to make sure that your software can talk to these existing softwares that are deployed on the existing gadgets that you already use. This is one of the main challenges, because all these systems are going to, like, devices are going to be programmed in their own platforms by different manufacturers. So how can your software interface or interact with these devices? First challenge. Another challenge in heterogeneity would be legacy systems. So legacy systems, if you have not heard this term already, legacy system is a system that is really old. It's working on outdated operating systems, which does not have updates or patches, which may not be secure because you have not updated. You cannot update it because the updates are not available. And because it is not available, security may be an issue. It may be difficult for a legacy system which is old to interact with the modern software, but a legacy system cannot be scrapped out because it might hold information that is precious, that is important, that is crucial and essential to the working of your business organization. It cannot be scrapped out, but again, it's really old and it makes life harder for you as a software engineer. So you have to write software products or build software products that can integrate with these legacy systems securely. So when it comes to heterogeneity, you have to deal with a diverse set of devices which are already existing and connected to your network. You have to deal with how to interface with really old but crucial legacy systems. The next issue that affects software development is business and social change. So business and society, the needs of the society keep changing. Customer needs keep changing. So when you have to incorporate changing needs, when you have to build code that has to be changed and that has to adapt to changing client needs, it's going to be really time consuming when you're going to try and pick a software engineering technique and you're going to follow all those steps and techniques. It's going to be time consuming to deliver new software. So you have to upgrade your software engineering technology itself to deal with this, coping with this kind of change. The third one is security and trust. I think we have touched upon security and trust. Your software should be trustworthy. It should not give unauthorized access to personal resources or crucial information like, say, banking information, login credentials, and so on. Most importantly, most of us, you see, all kinds of softwares or resources are not installed on your cellular phones or on your laptops. You almost always access remote software, remote resources by means of a web application or a web page. If I want to buy a shoe, I am not going to have everything on my mobile phone. I'm going to use an interface like a web application with a lot of web services, helping me access that web application and communicating in the back end to the servers. Do not worry about the details as of now, but most of the time I'm going to use a web app and then I'm going to remotely access a product, right? So most of our software is remotely accessed. So when you have remote access, security becomes a major concern. So your software should be secure and trustworthy. It should provide the information security by not allowing a malicious user to sniff onto the network and say, grab all your passwords. He should not be able to decrypt your passwords and post as you when it's not actually you. So these are some of the issues that are going to affect any kind of software, no matter what kind of application it is. So in today's class, let's just recall, let's revise what we have done in today's class. To summarize, in today's class, we have seen what are the objectives of writing software. People may write software to make tasks easier as a hobby, but most of the time it's for professional software development. We've also seen what are the different types of software. We have seen a broad classification of software as generic software and bespoke or customized software. We've also looked into the formal definition of software, which comprises of two sub-definitions, right? We've also seen that just producing accurate results is not just enough for a software to work correctly. Software should also meet quality attribute standards in order to be acceptable to the customer and society in general. We've also seen what is the need for software engineering, too much reliance on advanced computer system, changing environments, and so on. We've also seen what are the different activities in a software process. We have understood that software process is nothing but a systematic approach to building a final software product. So we have seen software specification, the design, development, testing, evolution, maintenance, and so on as the key steps in a software process. We've also understood the relationship between software engineering and computer science, the relationship between software engineering and systems engineering. We've also seen the generic issues that affect software. So with this, we'll close for the day. I would want you to recall, revise, use this recording to gain more information. Use resources online. If you cannot understand what I've just told you, use this as the base and try to get more information on the topics we have touched upon. I would also like to inform you that throughout this course, we're going to have a series of online live classes, and also I'm going to put up some offline recordings in your learning management system on the Google Drive. So you can access them through your learning management system, and you can post queries. You can have make effective use of discussion forums that are available on Canvas. You can get back to me when you have any queries. Thank you. Have a great day ahead of you.